Alrighty, guys. Hey everyone, welcome back to Okay, hey everyone, welcome back to Teaching with Tenia. I have Miss A here. She's a first grade ELA rock star. So today we're going to ask her some questions and figure out what does this look like for a first grade and below classroom. So, teaching small groups, how do you feel about small groups first?
Small groups at first is a very heavy lift, but once you get into your routines, once you get your procedures down, and once the kids know your expectations, I feel like there is a flow. And around this time, you start to see that flow.
This time of year, December, I love it. How did you teach those procedures and routines?
It just takes times and it takes reps. So every day we're coming in, we set the expectation, we go over those expectations, regardless if there is friends that already know those expectations. We want to make sure that all the friends in the class understand those expectations and that they understand what we are needing to do. It is a slow process. It does take time. When we're going through, what we do is we literally teach them how to sit in a chair. So a lot of my friends come in and we're learning a lot of the social and those expectations, how to sit in a classroom setting. So once we have those down, then we go to the next step, which is staying on task. How long can we stay on a task? So then we start timing our stamina. So in the lower grades, we time our stamina to see how long we can do a task. So our first task is gonna be maybe about 10 minutes. So we'll sit in our tables. I'll set a timer for 10 minutes. We'll set the timer, and the expectation is us to be in a whisper voice, ask a friend if you need help before we come to the teacher. Just setting those expectations. So when I am in my small group and I am actually going in the flow with it, that people are not interrupting and they're not asking questions. You know, they ask the friends and they build that stamina first before, they see me in that small group. So you have to build the stamina before you get into the actual content of small group. So that's the big thing with our friends, is building that stamina. So right now we're about 10 to 15 minutes. The goal is 20. Yeah. So independently working with no questions asked, not bothering the teacher, not asking for anything, or friends, like really truly working on the task takes time. Right now it takes about 7 to 10 minutes to where we're at. So we're not there yet, but we're getting there.
What are your expectations? Is it something that they've already learned? Are you reteaching something, or something that they're just able to do independently? What is it like for the friends that are not in?
I think the most part, like the flow, so like the procedure is the same, but maybe the task or the activity is different. Mm-hmm. So for the most part, they're expected to sit down at that table, to do their work quietly, to do it independently. So sometimes it is a review. Sometimes it could be what I just taught in foundation. So whatever skill I taught in foundations, like right now we're working on diagraphs. So any activities that I can pull, ideally cut and paste too, because we don't really have the time to teach cut and paste in whole groups. So you notice a lot of our K-1 friends, they don't have that. They're still working on that fine motor skill. So I try to incorporate that as well in small groups. So what that looks like is when they're doing their small group work, we call it centers or independent work. And I might try to make it, if they do something like they didn't finish their workbook, then they could do that, like that cut paste activity or something that along the lines that is like a little bit more than the regular classwork. It's a little bit more enticing, like they get a color and paste and whatnot. Oh. It's not like a typical activity, but it is something that we try to use to focus on that fine motor, because we're still working on that.
I love it. So switching gears to instruction, when you do have the friends in front of you, what are you working on and how do you organize those small groups?
So currently I am using, we use that Amplify database for our benchmark testing. Within that platform, there is intervention. So I am using that data to help with those groups. I'm also using the decodables, and if I can, like I said, we are working on diagraphs right now with foundation. So if I can find decodables that have diagraphs, whatever skills are working on foundation, I try to align it all together. Also too, a big lift in first grade is nonsense word fluency. So if the friends have not mastered the nonsense word fluency, we will practice some nonsense words in small group. And that's just showing them how to decode and encode those words.
Sounds good. Mm-hmm. Last but not least, if there's any advice you would give for teachers just trying small group or who've been doing it for a long time, what would you say to them?
They can do it. They can do it. It does take time. It takes patience. I think the big thing is being organized and really sitting down. If you have a plan, your plan doesn't always, you're not able to always execute your plan, but at least you have a plan, and just make sure you're organized and make sure you have all the materials that you need, because that time is important to have, and you don't want to waste time gathering materials. You want to already have what you need in front of you, so you can have successful small group.
There it is, straight from her mouth. First grade rockstar. Thank you so much for coming on my channel. Comment down below any questions or how you like to implement small group for little learners. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.